Welcome back to Podcasts On, where we talk about the popular culture. I'm your presenter, Jim, accompanied by my partner, Charlie.
Thank you very much. This is episode 32, and now, for the beginning today, my fourth, we will see a classic movie. Well, to say that it is classic is very little, in my opinion. It is considered as the science fiction film for excellence. This is how it is for the most clever we are talking about Star Wars.
More specific, the first film in the entire Star Wars franchise to be released in the theaters in the 1979 is now known today as Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope.
Right, I was always curious that they start with the fourth part of a story that more than nine films and nine technology.
When you ask me, first, I only with the episode 1 to 6 and 2 with the made the film, they did not know what they would go the saga source of films.
Actually, the director of the film, George Lucas, had a pretty clear idea of the whole story of its cinematic universe, but he decided to start with the episode because, in the opinion of George, it was the easiest to produce of all.
Of course, Star Wars are divided in trilogy or films that contain a story for each, but all of them form a bigger story. Although I cannot say it's a good idea to start with episode 1 or episode 4 since why.
Hey, Jim, remember the rules of the Zero Spoiler podcast. We never know if anyone may not have seen the movie. This could be an introduction for this person.
Okay, I'm sorry, but you are right one thing. This film has the biggest plot twist in the story of cinema. Although you know World War One makes everyone know, but God, no spoilers in the podcast. I don't know what's.
All right, let's start talking about the film with the standard presentation. Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope was released on May 25th, 1979 as a science fiction film and a space opera, directed and out of the mind of filmmaker George Lucas. This film is considered one of the greatest successes in the history of cinema modern. Hey Jim, can you have an introduction?
Sure. That story began a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. He disappeared of civil war. Rebel spaceships tank for the hit base and had won the first victory against the evil galactic empire. During the battle, rebel spies managed to steal secret funds for the Empire's ultimate weapon, the Death Star, an armored space station with enough power to destroy to any planet. Pursued by the Empire's sinister agents, Princess Leia rides home aboard the starship, custodying for the stone plants that can save her people and restore the freedom of the galaxy.
You just said exactly the prologue that killed the beginning of the film.
Yes, but in the film, it's just that's on the screen, and I used to narrate it, and it says thank you for nothing.
Anyway, the story focuses on secret shots that will pass through the hands of all our protagonists. First, as also Princess Leia is the one who managed to protect them, but only for a short time because his ship is attacked by the evil Darth Vader. Which obviously seek to recover the plans for this. Princess Leia decides to introduce the secret shot to the android R2D2
Arturito,
and his faithful android companion C3PO Magnus to escape from the spaceship to the nearest planet where he, where he meets another of our protagonists, Luke Skywalker, and the man who wishes he could escape from this planet that way. But Luke discovered that the robots were really sent to look for a certain Obi-Wan Kenobi.
the last hope.
That's lucky because Luke seems to know who he could be. and that's how the story begins.
Wait a minute, you have just forget to talk about two important characters.
So, well,
Well, who's appears in the poster of the film?
let me see. Yes. Can you represent them to the public?
Very well. Advancing with the story, Luke managed to meet Obi-Wan, and together with the androids, they look for a way to complete the mission that Princess Leia entrusts to, then to wish to mislead the planet. And for this, they seek to help the two boy hunters, Han Solo and his fighter company, Chewbacca. Ah, ah, okay. Anyway, I'd say all of them managed to leave the planet and to be at the start of the adventure.
Very well. Since introducing the character, we can talk about the actor who, who played them, starting with Luke Skywalker, played by Mark Hamill, Leila Organa by Carrie Fisher, Han Solo by Harrison Ford, and Obi-Wan Kenobi by Alec Guinness.
Continuing with the other, the little android RTT2 or R32 was operated by Kenneth George Baker.
Right, in this case, didn't you know R2E2 is practically a real operable robot?
True, and the same was the Brit android was played by Anthony Daniels. Hans Furry Company of Chewie, hobby by Peter Mayhew. And last but not most important, the great villain, the Lord Sith Darth Vader, was played by David Prowse.
Wait, I thought the actor he played Darth Vader was James Earl Jones, didn't it?
No, James Earl Jones is the voice of Darth Vader, while the interpretation is done by David Prowse. Made the dude to measure more than 2 meters. That is not a special effect.
Yes, another thing that makes Star Wars stand out from other films of its time is a great use of special effects, not only in the number of these that are used in the film, but how well achieved they are for their time.
Yes, in fact, George Lucas, seeing that no company could build support the production of the special effect, his decision to found a new company, what illustrates like a magic, which could give at least so many scenarios, spaceship, and every character in the movie. Well, in the most static aliens in the movie.
True, only one of the protagonists look like Chewbacca. It's just like a animal creature.
Wookie.
Wookiee isn't very realistic. Just look at it has so much detail in the costume that allows you to believe that it's an alien Wookiee of flesh and blood and hairless.
Not only Cubic, look at the strong troopers, the soldiers of the Galactic Empire. There are large a number of the costumes on them, and even had a different achievements and detail depending of where with the font. Seems a surprise to me.
Sure, you could really struggle to podcast about each of the design of the aliens, androids, and customs in each of the scenes. From the normal movies that the special effects have taken more than 2 years to produce.
Not for nothing, the Looks Like a Magic was the shares in the special effects in another great films for the production, was Terminator, Jurassic Park, or Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, no one can argue that Star Wars is one of the most important films in history, as we have already mentioned before. In addition to being one of the most recognizable franchises in all of pop culture.
But of course, basically the all of the popular culture is the Death Star.
Well, I think it's clear to we're fan of this movie, a movie that is already more than 40 years old. Wow, there have, there have been Star Wars fans for 40 years ago.
Yes, this is a great masterpiece that he had on the ceiling of the evil Monopoly, but
Oh, come on, because if we are not going to speak well of something, we must not say only bad things.
I'm sorry for that, but Star Wars is a Star Wars, and you know that some there are only science fiction movies and nothing more. But than many others, it was one of the experiences that market the whole life. And it the saddest things is that many others only see the money that this great and instead of waiting to liberate something with the same soul, then live off the most daily thing.
Are you angry about the Disney trilogy?
No, do you think that? Where did it start?
Oh no, what's this? The episode is reaching its deadline. I think it should be more reasonable to say goodbye. Don't you think? But after the finish, do you recommend the Star Wars?
That's no asking, my friend. Do you know the answer?
That's right. I hope you liked this episode. We hope to see you on the same channel.
Remember, may the 4th with you. See you in the next podcast on.
See you.